Hello, me lords and ladies, and welcome to another episode of our Elden Ring painting series. We're painting another Misbegotten. Yay, us. First off, I want to say thank you to all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing. You will get early access to this on Sunday. It will be the Wednesday video this week, so yeah, you guys. If you're new to the channel or if you are returning, hit that subscribe button. Pretty easy video, but without further ado, let's go. All right, the first thing you're going to do is obviously scrape all the nasty mold lines off of your miniature, and then I did a spray paint in all black and then white from above to create that zenithal highlighting. Now, before you say anything, I know the sword is bent. That's how it was sent to me. I tried to fix it, but the more I tried to mess with it, the more it was going to break. I actually cracked it, so it's just crooked. It is what it is. All right, we're going to do a 50-50 mix of Gulliman Flesh and Iyanden Yellow, and we're going to put this all over the skin. We will do a spin around here in a second, so you'll be able to see. Next, for all of the fur, we are going to do some Blood Angels Red. Now, obviously, I have played Elden Ring. I did beat it. I did beat the expansion. Never played Night Rain, but this is in my top 3 favorite games of all time. It is such a satisfying and frustrating game at the same time. If you've played it, you obviously know that. You might spend 50 attempts to beat a boss, especially the optional boss at the end. My lord, I don't know how many times I'm going to smash my controller trying to beat that. And then we'll do another spin around here in a second for all of our red areas. For the tail, we are going to do some Aeldari Emerald. So just the top portion. Underneath, we forgot to do the Iyanden Yellow and Gulliman Flesh, so we'll do that here in a second. There's like a little spot you can get between the legs that you can paint it. If you ran out of it, you can just do some basic Iyanden Yellow or Gulliman Flesh. You really can't see it, so it doesn't really matter that much. But I had some left on my wet palette of the original that I made, and I just slapped that on. All right, for the sword, obviously for the shaft and for the guard and then the hilt, we are going to do some Gryph-Charger Grey. Now for these large miniatures, especially, it's a lot easier to do speed paints than it is to do normal acrylic paints. That's why I prefer doing it this way. Because if you didn't, it'd take forever. For the hilt, or for the handle, I should say, we're going to be doing some Black Templar, the more opaque black compared to Black Legion. And then for the tongue, we are going to use some Volupus Pink on there, just real quick. And then for our last color, for all the nails on the hand and the feet, we're going to be using some Morghast Bone. I know what you're thinking. The wings have not been done. We're going to do that in the wash step coming up here in a moment. All right, for the wings, we're just going to hit it with some Noan oil. pretty pretty simple. All right, for all of the red, we're going to do some Beserker Bloodshade. If you don't have this color, Crimson, Caribou Crimson will work as well. I just always forget to use this shade, so I want to kind of implement it. It's more of a darker red. I feel like it really goes well with the Blood Angels red. So, again, that's up to you. Next, and you'll see it here, obviously, in a second, for all of our skin and fur areas, except for the red fur areas, obviously, we are going to do some Agrax Earthshade. This just adds a lot of depth to the miniature. Can't really call this a miniature. This thing's huge because I had to use the bigger handle from Citadel for this. But just get it all in there, get some more depth in there. And I painted this on the tongue and the teeth as well, and also all of your nails. And for the last wash that we're going to be doing, all over that tail, some Athnian Camoshade. It's going to get a little bit more greenish, your traditional green depth in there. And that will be the bane of our existence once this dries when we get to that step in the highlights. We'll give you two options on how to do that, but we'll get there. All right, once everything is completely dry, and I mean completely, we're going to do our highlight of our fur. So for these smooth areas, taking our small brush here, and we are using some Balor Brown. We're also going to use this small brush on the hands and feet, hitting up those knuckles and the raised areas on the hand. Don't really want to overdo that, but we really want to focus on the face because that really is the focal point when you're staring at the miniature. For the rest of the fur, you could do a little bit of a dry brush on that fur very lightly, just kind of spruce it up a little bit. So the stomach area on the abs, because this thing is shredded. The Misbegotten broski. And just kind of paint those up real quick. For the hair on this Misbegotten, we are going to do some World Bearers Red. Now, I'm kind of doing a lazy dry brush on this, just very delicately flicking it back and forth on the hair, the red hair, obviously. Not going crazy, not doing any individual hair painting, just very liberally going back and forth and painting with a small, very destroyed brush that I have. So it's nothing crazy on that. We're going to do the same exact thing except for some Tuskgor Fur to brighten it up just a little bit. Again, not doing really individual hairs, just kind of flicking it back and forth. Really focusing on the top areas and areas that the sun would catch. All right, moving on to our wings. Now you can do that same exact technique with another brush. I'm just kind of individually painting these feathers on the wings. But you could do like a lazy dry brush on it. That's what I call it. I don't know if that's actually a thing in the miniature painting world, but that's what I call it. So we're going to be using some Dawnstone on this. Again, you could speed it up by doing a little bit of a dry brush. All right, the scales. So I went through and painted almost every single individual scale. The only ones I didn't do were on the back side where it was dark. I kept those dark as if the sun was not hitting that portion. Now, you don't necessarily need to do this. You could do another dry brush. I just wanted to make my life a lot more difficult, so I did every individual scale there, and I think it actually turned out really good. So I think it was worth the extra time it took me to do that. Sometimes I just like to do it the hard way. So it's up to you on what you want to do. For the teeth and the nails, just a quick little reapplication of the Morghast Bone. You can also do some Screaming Skull after that, but I decided not to. We're going to paint in some eyes real quick, just doing some white. And then we are going to do some Balor Red on there. Just a quick little daub. And then your white should barely stick through, giving it that impression that it is a white orbital behind that red. And then your favorite part of painting the miniature, because it means you're done, is the base and the rim of the base. We're doing it all in one color, Black Templar. If you are not satisfied with how dark it got on the rim of the base, you can always go over it with some Abaddon Black. But the Black Templar will be opaque enough for that white on the base to stick through. And that's all we're doing with it. No dry brushing, no nothing, but you obviously can. And obviously you can see right there that that base sticks through enough. It is fine with me, just good enough. But it's up to you if you want to add a little bit more depth. That's it. That's all she wrote. Pretty simple. It is a big miniature, so a lot of surface area you need to paint with your contrast paints and your highlighting. But I thought it turned out pretty good. I kind of avoided this miniature for a little bit because I just didn't know what to do. And obviously, after playing the game and researching it, I got a color scheme that I wanted to do, and I just went that way. So, yeah, it turned out pretty good. Again, I want to say thank you to all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing. You will get early access to this on Sunday for Wednesday's video. So Sunday night you can watch it. Again, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, anybody who watches this video, anybody who shares it, sends it to a friend, reposts it. Can't thank you enough. You guys are awesome. I got a lot more coming up, but I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, paints on.